Hello everyone, welcome to Kate's Space. It's another beautiful day in Hawke's Bay, New Zealand, and so I thought I would take advantage of the natural light that's coming through my craft room window and do another video. This is pile of loveliness, is some beautiful things that were sent to me when I was in Australia waiting for my granddaughter to be born, sent to me by Jodie Lloyd Webb. And I showed it to my daughter Brylee and said, would you like something like this for a journal? And she was very keen. So I am going to attempt to make the cover for Brylee's journal. I have two little pieces of cardstock here that I've cut into dinky journals. Oh, I need to make sure I've done that the right size. But they're about 6 by, I think that's 6 by 4.5 and that's 6 by 4. Yeah, so if there's scraps, I thought I could make something with that. This here is some file folder which I've glued together and pressed, and then I've folded it along one of the creases and then made another crease. Now, as you can see, it's cracked here, so I'm going to probably reinforce that with something, and especially on the inside, just to make sure that doesn't weaken. This is going to be a journal for her to write in, so there doesn't really need to be too much decoration in the pages, so I wanted to make the cover really lovely, really nice. And I keep putting it off and putting it off, so I finally decided that it's time to do it, and I sent her a little bit of a picture of something that I'd put together. I think the first thing I want to do is just cut this green fabric, the stripes, to size. I want a little bit to fold over. I probably don't need that much, but because it's thin it probably doesn't really matter, and that'll save me cutting. So if I line this up with one of the stripes, hopefully we will get nice straight stripes, but there's no guarantees, is there? Let's have a look what that looks like if we close it like this. That's pretty good, and a lot of it's going to be covered up, so I'm going to snip. I'm going to snip it about there. I'd rather have too much than not enough. Okay, okay, we're started, we're on to it, we're getting there, Brylee. You finally might get your journal. So yeah, I'd love you to craft along with me. I'll do the whole thing on my channel. So again, this is just some cardstock, and it probably, actually now I think about it, I probably didn't really need to double it. Let me measure it for you in case you do want to make one the same. So basically it is in inches, I'm going to do it in centimetres actually, 22 centimetres high, and the front cover is about 15, and I've done the spine, it's 4.5 centimetres. So that's the size. Now the other thing, what I do now is I sort of paper clip this first layer of fabric to my base. Gives me a little bit of an idea what it's going to look like as I put more put the other fabrics on. Okay, and we want that to be pretty straight. But again, I probably worry too much about stuff like that. It's a fabric journal. It's going to be sort of fabric collage, and really, if the stripes are a little bit off, who's really gonna care or notice? Me. How is everybody today? I hope you're all well. I don't know, we had such big storms here in New Zealand, and one of the towns down in the South Island got a real hammering with the rain, and roads have come out, and now we're having this beautiful spell of just warm spring weather, and it's like, wow, winter might nearly be over. But in the Hawke's Bay, that often happens. It often tricks us. So we need to make sure we don't put all our warm things away and then have to get them all out again. Right, so that's just held in place, and I will probably sew around here first, I think, or I might sew it all, pin it and sew it, and then sew it all on. I'm not sure, I haven't decided. So the other thing that I wanted is, I've got this lovely broderie anglaise, and I want this down here, and I want it to hang over the edge. Now let's see, does it go all the way around? Yes, it does. So that's perfect. I don't know whether I really need that to... I mean, it might fray a little bit, but again, I don't know how much of a problem that is. I'll leave a little bit of a gap. How about that? And then we can decide later. Okay, and then I think I'll cut, yeah, I'll just cut, well, maybe I won't cut that bit off yet. Okay, so we've got that. And then I was going to have a strip of this beautiful fabric across here. Now that won't go, I don't know if that will go right round, will it? No, not quite. So I wonder, do we want this one, or... I'm not quite sure how wide I want it. I'm going to cut here and just tear it. And that's going to go there. Or we could have it with the bigger roses. And this will make beautiful ruffles, I think, to go on the pages. So I don't know if I want the little flowers or the bigger flowers. But at this stage, we'll just go with that. Okay, so that's that little bit. And then I have another piece of broderie anglaise somewhere, I think. This one. That's going to go there, maybe. So it's just building up the cover. Oh, so I'm really sorry about the scissors on the glass. It's quite loud and annoying. Okay, so this is the piece, beautiful piece of fabric, and yeah, I was a bit nervous about cutting this up. I think I want... I really love this big peony here, or rose. Let me just open it out and let's have a look. But I don't think it really matters. If we go this way, then we know it will go all the way around. So let's just open this up. And I kind of do want that beautiful pink one there, I think. And then I just need to decide how deep I want that to go. So let's just fold it like that to see what width we want. So often I'll get in and I'll tear something, and then I don't know, I just won't be happy with it. So I don't want to. And yes, I know you can't see the stripes anymore. I don't think that matters. So that is kind of the idea of what the front would look like at this point. I did have a doily coming over, and I sent her that, a picture of that, but she didn't really like it with the doily, so we're not having the doily. I have got more lace if we want to go more is more. I've got this gap here, so I don't know whether we want that to show, whether we want some stripes maybe. And this could maybe tuck under here and just have a little bit of that showing. And then have some stripes. No, I don't think so. Okay, so I am gonna just, right, I'm gonna do it. Snip this here and then tear it. You know it's a lovely sunny day when people are out with their mowers on the weekend, getting their mowing and their gardening done. Right, that's pulled quite badly where I've torn it, so maybe I should have cut it, but that's okay. That's actually the salvage edge there, so I might put that on the top. Okay, where are we at? Should we lay it out flat now? Are you still with me? Hope so. I've only got a few more days where I think I'll have time to sit down and do things like this before I have to pack on holiday. But I mean, this video may actually go up while I'm on holiday, and then we'll continue when we get back. So yeah, that isn't going to reach right to the edge there of this part of the journal. And I actually do want this pink peony here on the front. So that's going to hide that kind of pulled bit. And that can go in between. And it just means, you know what, I don't think I'm going to worry too much about this top bit. I'm going to fold the bottom bit under, but I think I'll just have these top bits just sitting. And then I feel like it needs something else here, maybe. I've got so many beautiful things here. I've got this lovely velvet. Again, that doesn't go right away around, but that is super pretty. The only thing with the velvet, I know that does fray quite badly, but the other thing I've got we could audition is this beautiful piece here. But I would just probably put that on the front. And I'm not sure about this back, the fact that that doesn't go all the way around, what to do about that. Because the other option would be, if I haven't made it, is to have it like that. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Okay. I wonder if that will tear that way. I guess we'll find out. Oops, that did not tear straight. No, I'm not happy with that. That's disappointing. So now, how am I going to straighten that up? Right, excuse me, I'm just going to cut a piece this time. Okay, and I will cut it this time. Alright, so you just get all the fabrics that you love or that you have and just sort of pop them on and see what you like. So there we go. I think that looks nice. Now everything wraps right around, so the back will be the same as the front. I think that's pretty. And you know, you could spend hours and hours putting more and more on. I could make it more patchworky, I guess, with using little bits of this, you know, other bits that I've got. But I don't think I want to do anymore. Well, that's quite nice though, isn't it? So now is getting this attached. Let me think how I'm going to do it. I'll get my pins. I should have more pins than that. And I think start with just maybe just pinning this onto the green at that edge. And kind of getting that sort of in the same place. So I don't want a huge bit hanging down. What have I got? I've got those flowers there. And then just pinning it maybe at this end as well. And then I need to decide whether I'm going to sew machine stitch or hand stitch. Right, and so then we've got this piece is going over the top. And I'm going to do it this way. I want that selvage at the front because then I know that won't fray. So I'm going to pin that as well. I mean, if you don't have a sewing machine, then it's great. Actually, I'm going to bring this down to here, I think. To be able to hand sew, just grab some needle and thread, and it can just look really, really nice. I mean, my hand stitching isn't incredible, but the ones that I have done with the hand stitching I've really liked. Just not sure. Let me tuck this under. Pop that there so it's just peeking out. I'm not sure if I want this raw edge here, so that's something to think about. Okay, so now this piece here I'm going to have just sitting along the top here. So I might just pin like this all along here. Such pretty fabric. So then we can just pin along here as well. So I'm catching the striped fabric with the pins so that I can just, then it's all together, and then I can maybe turn it into one piece that will cover this journal card base. But I have this raw edge here and here, so I'm not sure about that. I don't really want to turn it under, I don't think. I think we're just going to have the raw edge. So more pins. I'd rather have more than not enough, so it doesn't all come apart when I take it off the journal cover. So there's our edge there. So I am going to have to cut that and that. Okay, so when we fold it, I think that looks really pretty. We can always put something on here afterwards. This doesn't quite reach, I haven't pulled it this way enough, I don't think. Let me just turn this over, and I'm going to cut this fabric here without trying not to catch the green. So I went on to Google to find out about my screen mirroring app. Yeah, so the screen mirroring, it said to make sure that both your laptop and your phone or your camera are connected to the same Wi-Fi. They are, and now I look at 12 minutes. The screen mirroring has stopped. I've just checked my camera, and the numbers that I normally have on my camera or phone camera are not working. So I'm just going to stop now and just see what I've been recording, and then I'll jump back on. Okay, I'll see you soon. All right, I'm back. Technical difficulties. The struggle is real. Anyway, let's cut. I'm so nervous to cut those bits off, but now I need to decide. Yeah, so now I've cut that. That's really wonky. I'm not really happy about that either. But then you can't really notice because it's all a bit, you know. So now I need to decide whether I'm going to sew around. So I've got this. So oh, sorry guys. Let's say we take these off and we see what we've got on our stripes and how we want to pull it all together. So it's all pretty much pinned. And it looks pretty good. That looks really not straight, and I'm not quite sure how that's gonna work. Oh, that's just because that's not straight. So okay, I think we'll be okay. So I'm thinking maybe I'll hand stitch it. I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to see me do that. And though the only thing with that is going to take so long, I'm really worried about that being wonky now, but I think it's just because, yeah, that'll be like that. Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. So I'm not going to panic about that. All right, well, I might get some thread. I'm still thinking, what shall I do? Shall I just machine sew it? I think I will machine sew this one because it really has been so long. Brylee's waiting for it, and if I hand sew it, it's a big piece to hand sew. So I think I will machine sew it. In saying that, I need to make sure I do that straight. I think I'll just sew these bits across there. That's what I'm going to do first. All right, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've done a straight stitch this way along and created this sort of base here. Again, it's not perfect stitching, but I think I've caught most things. Let's just get our journal base now. And again, okay, so I know that I want this along the top here. So the only thing with this is there'll be a couple of rows of stitching along the top, which I'm okay with. So now I am going to use my, what are these called? These paper clips, excuse me. Yep, there, the screen mirroring has stopped again. Oh, wow. Okay, I need to stop talking about it because it's incredibly frustrating when you purchase something and it doesn't work. But knowing me, it's probably something I'm doing, I'm not sure. I have this lovely trim that could actually go over one of these raw edges on the front. I think that might be quite sweet. Probably need to decide if I want to do any. Okay, so this, I need to move this over. Probably need to do it this way actually. coming over this way. Choose a line on the fabric that's going to be the straight, the line that goes along the edge there. Okay, and then pin that like that. Okay, so that's that edge done. And then you want to do this. Now this will be harder because we've got this hangy down bit, and I don't want to catch that under, so that will be interesting. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. I'm just going to use the paper clip at this point to catch everything, to see what it looks like. Okay, so now that, I think it needs to come down a bit. Maybe I need to do the top first. Okay, sorry if you can't see. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay, right, that's top bit's the most important bit, because that sort of needs to sit evenly along there, doesn't it? So let's just put lots of paper clips there and hold that in place. Right, now we can do this front bit. Yeah, so all the paper clips are going to get stuck in my lace. All right, yep, that will be fine there, and hopefully that's relatively straight if we go there like that. Then I need to decide, the other thing I want to decide, or need to decide, is whether I'm going to glue the fabric as well as sew it. I don't think you need to. I've done both in the past, so I think it's personal preference. Oh, actually that's fine, that hangs up like that, so I can't really put my camera, I suppose I could move my sewing machine, but I think the sewing machine will just shake the camera. I've tried doing a video with my sewing machine before, and it just shook the camera so much it was unwatchable. So I'll kind of show you what I do with the corners, but again, it's just really anything that works for you that makes them neat and pulls in all your raw edges. But at this stage I'm gonna have to be brave and cut these bits at the back. That's just like that. Okay, let's have a look at the front to start with. I think that's going to look okay. This bit here is a little bit bulgy, but I might do a bit of... The thing is, if you don't glue it, you can actually be sneaky and go in and do a bit of hand stitching afterwards. And these don't quite reach the front. I wonder if I want to pull that over a bit more, or we can put something else there over the top. Not that. I do have some lovely, this beautiful green sari silk here. How gorgeous is that colour? So we could do something. Do we, okay. Yeah, I'm not that happy about that gap there. So I need to decide, what would I do to hide it? Oh, I've got a little bit of a catch on there. but I don't care about that. I think it's going to look nice once I get my head around how to fix this. So I will probably cut this little bit of video out just because it's going on very long, and I'll get this sorted and then I'll come back. Okay, I am struggling to get it exactly how I want it. I'm just thinking actually I really like the stripe at the top. Just a little bit of the stripy bit at the top. So now I'm taking all these off again. I guess that's just part of it. I will edit this video so that you don't have to see all of this, but I can't seem to get it exactly straight. And I guess because it's lines across there, I guess it doesn't, I've made it so it does matter that it's not straight. So I'm just going to have to work out how much I care about that. And whether we can do things to sort of distract from the fact that maybe it's not as straight as it could be. I still haven't cut these extra bits off yet because I haven't really got it how I want. But yeah, this piece here is hasn't, I think it's kind of a bit bulgy. Yeah, I'm going to use my fabric glue. I'm just going to go for it and hopefully I won't stuff this up too badly. I've got a paintbrush here. I think this is blocked. Oh, there we go. I hope I'm not going to regret doing this, but anyway, I guess we'll find out. And I'm just going to put, I'm not going to put a whole lot of glue on. Okay, just a little bit to hold it because it's going to be stitched, so it doesn't have to be, I don't want it seeping through or anything. But I think this will just help me get it right. I hope so anyway. Maybe Brylee will get a completely different journal altogether. Hopefully the pages and everything else will come together a bit more quickly than this part, but it feels good now. I've just started and I'm getting it done because, you know, she's asked for one and I feel really honoured that she's asked for a journal. Okay, so let's try and get this on here a little bit straight. I think I've got some wiggle room, I hope so. Okay, let's go there. Is that right? This is the most important bit down here. So then, yeah, see. Oh, yeah. Okay, this glue's very sticky. It's very good glue. Oh my gosh, this is not. If you heard that, that's David just in from the garden doing the mowing or something, I think. Very dramatic. Okay, let me try and get this on here how I want it. And sort of straight. Just going to go with that stripe there on the edge. Holy, why is this so hard? Oh my gosh, this is not a tutorial, people. Okay, I'm just going to have that gap there I could unpick all that, but I just don't know. I'm not going to. Okay, so that's how it's going to be. Alright, so I might just put a little bit of glue down. Now let's fold this under. So this is the bit I'll be sewing around there, and I'll come along here, and when I get to this, you just kind of fold it over. I think that's what you do. You go like that and that, and everyone has a way of, I think most people have a way of doing corners. It's just a matter of getting that neat little edge there, and you kind of have to do it as you go on the sewing machine. So there we go, and that's nice and neat on that side. So yeah, and remembering you're covering up in here, so it doesn't matter if it looks a bit messy on the inside, because that's all going to get covered up eventually. There we have it. So it's been lightly glued, and now it's safe. It's all pinned, and I'm going to go around here with the sewing machine, and I think I'll do it first and then trim it after. So these corners will all be sort of tucked in like that, hopefully, as I sew round. That one's a bit big, so I might need to trim that first. Oops. So that's where we're at. I'll take it to the sewing machine and sew around, and I'll probably do it on the inside here. Will I? Yeah, I have to, because I want to see these corners all the way around on the inside, and then hopefully it'll look alright on the outside. And yes, I have this little gap here on the edge, which is going to probably annoy me, but I couldn't seem to get that right. So that's what it looks like. Not perfect, but I think it'll be nice. And there, and it's got some bend to it, so it'll just wrap around the pages nicely when we do those. Okay, right, I'll be back once I've sewn it, and yeah, we'll talk about some more about what we'll do next. Okay, I have sewn around the edges. For the sewers among you, please forgive. It's not entirely perfectly straight, and it looks a bit tatty, but actually we'll just have to work with that. When I was doing this corner I had too much fabric, and actually it's only just caught it there, hasn't it? But anyway, I'm going to just trim this all down here as best I can. And this little bit here caught, and I had to unpick it and re-sew it. For the sewers among you, please forgive me if you're having kittens right now. I'm sure it'll look fine once it's got pages in it and it's become the journal that it was meant to be. So just trim all your fabrics as you want them. Yeah, I think it's quite pretty. This kind of flops down. Could have made that actually a pocket. When I think about it now, that would have been quite nice to make that into a pocket. But I'm not really sure that Brylee will want to put a whole lot of stuff in there. Now I need to think about what I'm going to put on the inside of here. I want probably a cardstock that's quite heavy. And also I want to think about whether I put a plate or something on here. I have a few here in this tin. So I've got this little white, creamy white one, which is pretty. So that would be quite nice. Or again, we've got these decorative ones which always look nice, but I don't know whereabouts I would put that. So I need to make that decision, and that needs to be done obviously before you do anything on the inside. And also I'll do some strengthening here, which I could have done before as well. So you can put like Tyvek or something in here just to strengthen these creases from opening and closing. So that's probably all I'll do for now, and if I can get a little bit more done on video before I go away, I will. Otherwise it will be when I get back, and we'll finish this project together. If you are crafting along with me, thanks so much. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you like this project, and will consider making yourself a journal covered with fabrics that maybe you've collected over the years, or some that you've just purchased. Again, thanks so much for your support and your lovely comments, and for watching my videos. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you again soon in the next video. Bye.